And it's that time where we have tea and bring you the biggest entertainment stories this morning. This is Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa, where the really big stories live. I'm talking about Taiwo, and as always, I'm not alone. I'm here with the familiar duo, Elsie Godwin and Ife Oshunkeye. Hello, people.
What's up? Please don't beg me to take off my glasses.
No, I'm not begging you to. If that's what you want to do,
don't even ask me, please.
Have I ever asked you to take off your glasses?
I'm just saying, but this morning is not a good time.
He's just saying this is the time you're supposed to say, I'm here with the criminal-minded.
Hello, people.
Are you guys okay? I haven't had no sleep, so...
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, Ife, tell us about your events yesterday, because
you're making it like it sounds... Yeah, you're a part of one, at least. No, you're a part of both.
There you go then. So how did you go? Did you enjoy yourself?
Ran away, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
I mean 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Seriously?
8.
Huh?
8:30, right?
I think it was actually 7:30.
Wow.
Well, I was there till 3 a.m. and I got them like 4 a.m. and here we are again. So it was amazing. Yeah, the Ovation Carol has been ongoing for 11 years now. They've been consistent and it was amazing. A lot of performances from Tenny the Entertainer, Burna Boy, Mr. Easy, Awilo Lukumba.
Really? Wow, how very interesting.
Sinach, and Yinka Ifele, and many others. And yes, of course, how can we forget the Up North movie premiere with Banky W? That was good. That was at the IMAX Cinema in Lagos, and that was good too.
All right, thank you. Elsie, did you get up to anything? Did you attend any events?
I got up to some things that I shouldn't discuss.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Sell your market again.
Well.
No.
Business has to go on.
Well.
Anyway, we need to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be dishing out the biggest entertainment headlines. Stay here.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. And we're moving on to the main stories of the day. Our first story this morning is on Offset, who crashes Cardi B's performance to beg for forgiveness. So, Elsie, what say you?
Yes, from a woman's point of view before I even speak.
I've told you guys not to do this woman point of view because I'm not the typical woman. Like, I don't think like a typical woman. So I feel like I can't tell you what they'll say, but that's a good move from him.
Okay.
And I mean, so many people were like, oh, if you could do that, then why shouldn't she just say yes? But when a woman is tired, she's really tired, you know, so it's a good one. I see the effort. And another part of me is feeling, is all this not really publicity stunts and they know what they are doing? Maybe there's too much of Ife in my head. But it's a good one.
But do you
and
think
I hope
she's tired, though, from what you said? Do you think she's tired of him?
Yes. She still loves him. She still cares about him. I mean, she came out to defend him and let people know that you can't talk about my baby daddy in a particular type of way. I don't want him to be in a situation whereby he's thinking suicide or thinking he doesn't want to be here anymore. I still need him in my life. He's still family. You know, there's still that care and, you know. But I think she's just really tired of the whole cheating. And
all right, let's hear what Ife has to say and his thoughts about this.
When a man loves a woman.
That's Michael Bolton.
And he still cheats.
Not
right?
Offset. I was thinking you would sing an Offset song.
Of what?
Well, in my opinion, I think Cardi is fronting too much.
Wow.
Come on. With all of the
No,
things that
hold
has-
on. Let him explain. Explain.
I think she's fronting too much, and I think she needs to learn from other people. Look, a marriage is not a bed of roses. We all know that marriages come through their ups and downs. And I'm going to use Beyonce and Jay-Z as
An example.
a reference, yes, because, for instance, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. We know the old Solange elevator drama that went down over the old cheating, and what's her name? Something with the good hair.
Becky.
Becky with the good, yeah.
Ife.
So hold up.
There is no proof.
Hold
it's
up.
just speculation.
Just wait.
And you usually say, I'm not
Just
waiting.
wait.
Because you
Just
usually
wait.
say
Let me finish.
that you do
Let
not
me
base
finish. But I
your
allowed you
opinion
finish
on
now.
speculation. No, because you are speculating.
What am I speculating?
What's the proof there, out there, to say Jay-Z really cheated on
Please,
Beyonce?
let's
Oh, no.
digress from the
Then
topic.
you don't even know.
What is-
No,
where is the
sorry. If you are telling me what is the proof, then
Where
you
is
Guys,
the
let's
proof?
not
then you do not
digress
even
from
know
the question.
anything about Jay-Z and
Let's
Beyonce.
digress.
Where
Let's
is
not
the
digress,
proof?
guys.
It's on his way is the proof. 444 is the proof.
Guys, let's
almost
not digress.
every
Let's
song
not- we're not
on that.
talking about
Wait.
digress.
Hold
What
on.
is it
Please,
that is
almost
a deliberate
every
act?
week.
We haven't
That
gone
there's no
long,
proof.
guys.
It's
Can you just hold on?
different.
Let me just
Honestly, we
speak.
haven't got long
Can you
on
just
this
hold on and let me
story.
So
just speak?
if you're
Let's-
not...
Yes.
Don't-
Yes, we haven't come back to the story.
Wait, I'm just going to say this. The 444 album is the proof you need.
That's not the
Just
proof.
go and listen to the album.
I can
Let's
listen
not
to it
do
over
this
and
right
over
now.
again.
Let's not
I
have
can
this.
tell you that
Yes,
it's not
thank
the
you.
And offset.
Yes.
First, go and listen to the album, then come back and
I've
speak
listened
to
to
me.
it over and over again.
no,
And
Guys,
it's not-
seriously,
song
let's
from the
not do
album.
this now.
Name one song. Just
I
one.
think I'm going to
Just
move on
one.
to my next
Just one
story.
song.
Okay, so moving
Just
on to
one
our
song.
next story.
See?
J Hus has been jailed for 8 months for carrying a knife. And this is quite interesting because this is not the first time that J Hus has carried a knife. And then also, he initially in June, he said basically that he didn't carry, he pleaded not guilty. And then all of a sudden, he's like changing his story. So I'm like, what is going on? What really is happening with J Hus? And it's not the first time that he's getting into problems with the law. He, like right from 2015 when he released his first single, it's like one problem or another. Yeah. But if let me come to you, because like Elsie will say, your people, but if you don't want to.
All right, so before I even go to J Hus, I'm going to say Cardi B, first of all.
Oh, seriously, don't do that now. Don't do that now. It's just totally...
Hold on.
ridiculous.
It's
We
not
can't keep going back and forth on the topic. For crying out loud, I gave you guys time, and then, you know, you didn't talk about it then, and you digress. Let's move on to the next story. We haven't got long.
Okay.
So I think Cardi B is fronting too much, and then she needs to forgive Offset because he has tried, he's made all the efforts, and she needs to take a cue from Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now I'm speaking
We'll
to
continue the argument
So
after
back
the
to J
show.
Hus. Yes, J Hus. This is not the first time he has even had an antisocial behavior order given to him before because he was always, you know, he's known for violent crimes and stuff like that. And growing up on the streets of London, like Tokumbo, they are usually bad guys. I'm sure Tokumbo used to carry a knife when he was back in London, right?
Are you asking or you want to know?
I'm asking.
Oh, seriously?
He used to carry a knife, right?
Let's talk about the story.
All right, so he pleaded not guilty at first when he was caught with a knife, but later he accepted that his actions are very careless because the judge actually said, look, you're a role model, and then a lot of people look up to you and you're still going back to your old life, regardless of where you come from, you need to. So she said she wouldn't be doing her legal duties if she doesn't sentence him. So this is just like, look, you're not above the law, and then you need to change your ways
But then,
and
not
do
to
better.
cut you, let's not forget the fact that he has this whole PTSD thing, that he's been attacked with a knife
of course,
too,
that is
and all that.
that is a defense. Of course, yeah, it's possible that
It's possible.
Suffering from post-traumatic
Disorder.
stress disorder and all that. But it's not excusable for you to be carrying a knife because at the time,
No, of course,
it
it's
was
not
his wife.
excusable. It's not
It was his
excusable.
girlfriend that was driving. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and then the cop stopped them because they smelled marijuana, and they asked him if he had
And he
anything on
brought
it,
that
and he
out
said, "Oh, he
himself.
had a 10
Yeah.
centimeter knife," and so I think at the end of the day, 8 months, and they said it was emotionless when the verdict was given in court
Like he was
because he just
expecting it.
put his head down, hands folded, like he's used to it, like most London guys like them to Kumbo.
So, Elsie, what say you?
Well, I think Ife has done done it all and said it all. Let him get help if it's really PTSD, and let's hope he comes out a better person and not going again.
Okay, moving on to our next story. We're discussing Miss Spain, who is the first transgender Miss Universe contestant. Okay, so I think they lifted the ban because in the past, you know, transgender ladies were not allowed, and then I think they lifted that ban.
2012.
2012. So, yeah, go on.
Yeah, it was literally in 2012, and the thing is, I'm not sure I want to talk about how I really feel about this on air.
Go on.
No, it's not go on. Me, I'm saying I don't know if I really want to be as blunt as I want to be, but I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's doing something. Like, there's a statement she made. She said she's representing diverse set of people in the world, encouraging inclusion and all that, but I really don't know, because this is a worked-on body.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And she used to be a man, right? And now she's a woman. You know, it's really confusing, and I'm finding it really difficult to accept that she now has the right to compete with other women that has hormonal issues. I mean, what a woman goes through and what a man goes through is totally different in terms of the fat, in terms of, you know, and all that. So I really don't know how I feel, but yes, I'm happy for her. I'm happy that the struggle that she feels she's fighting for is paying off. I mean, she said it's not about winning, it's about the fact that she has the chance, and she didn't even make top 20, right? So that's all I can say.
Okay, Ife?
No, before I even speak, I'd like to get your own opinion on this topic.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Really? Do I ask you why when you want to get my opinion, bro? So
Seriously?
please tell me.
Yeah, go on. Why
so
do
I'd
you
like
want
to
to
get
my
your
own
opinion on this.
What, is my opinion going to influence your own?
Yes, because I need to know
you won't even listen to
where
me.
you both stand.
No, we'll listen. Why won't we listen?
No, he won't even listen. You are understand.
Yeah, we'd like to get your opinion on this first.
Yeah, I will give my opinion if I right after you.
No, come on. I have a reason, because I want to bounce off what you both said. I've listened to LC and I've gotten some points from her, so I'd like to get some points from you before I even speak, before you say I'm digressing again.
Okay. Yes. If you need to digress, you can digress. But right now...
Oh, digressing is allowed on this topic.
No, because
really?
Just tell us your opinion.
No digressing. The second one, no digressing. Like,
just tell us what you think about this.
I think we should even end this show right now. Seriously, you guys are not even ready to discuss this.
Seriously, we're ready. You are not ready.
Okay, if I just go, let's know.
Okay, so my opinion on this, first of all, is that I like people that break boundaries. I like people that make changes, because the LGBT community is not something we can disregard. It's there. It's something we would have to live with for the rest of our life. And the way people actually accept transgenders, homosexuals these days, it's fine. Do you understand? It's fine.
Wait. So these transgender people now, they are inside the LGBT community?
Yeah, they are
the T in the LGBT.
Oh.
Yes.
So why do they really have to transition to becoming a woman? To, if you really like a woman, why not just stay with a woman? And
it's anyway, not liking a woman.
It's them not being able to identify with their natural sex.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
I think Elsie really doesn't understand.
When you're a man,
I am not one now. If I don't understand it, that costs me the slap.
And then all you feel like is, look, I'm a woman. There are even different types of them. There are drag queens. You know, those are like the cross-dresser. We can call Bobrisky a drag queen. So don't be surprised if Bobrisky
he's not a drag queen. There's differences between drag queens and then cross-dressers and then transsexuals. But it's not.
So educate us on that. That's why I asked for your opinion before.
It's not a class.
Okay, so now it's time. You said you would tell us your opinion.
It's not a class.
So tell us your opinion.
I don't know, because like you said, we have to I think the LGBT is here to stay, like you say. So, and then if the Miss Universe organization has actually lifted the ban on them from 2012, I think it won't be long before Miss World actually lifts the ban off them as well. I don't know if they will do that here now or later on in the future. But at the end of the day, once the door has been opened through one very well-known pageant, then, you know, the others, it's only a matter of time before the others will follow suit. And then, if like you were saying earlier on as well, in as much as people, you know, grasp or have difficulty in understand the concept of transsexuality and things like that, I think at the end of the day, we still have to give kudos to this guy because, well, to this lady.
Since you are the one that finding it difficult now to understand them. Okay.
Yeah, so the reason why I say that is that in Spain, she actually, you know, she was crowned Miss Spain, you know, and then she battled 22 other natural women, you know, to win that title. And then she also came onto Miss Universe, you know, and although she did not win, you know, what she has done is she has broken a record in Spain alone, let alone coming onto the Miss Universe thing as well.
Spain,
Yeah,
globally.
the whole world, yeah, because she's the first trans
she's the first,
on,
exactly.
Miss Universe.
So at the end of the day, anytime transsexuality is spoken about, I think they will refer to Angela Ponce, you know, so she has made that history. So I can't take that away from her, regardless of, you know, some of the difficulties that people tend to have towards, you know, embracing or accepting that kind of, you know, moving from one gender to the other. But having said so, someone like Caitlyn Jenner, I mean, I don't know, it's only a matter of time. And it's not just Caitlyn Jenner. I think in the UK, they had someone else who actually went into music. So the transgender thing, there are lots of them that are coming into showbiz now. And like we said, even if we don't accept, even if we don't agree, I think they will be here to stay eventually.
Okay, so I used to think drag queens were cross-dressers, and drag kings are like girls that dress like men. So sometimes they say it's for comedic reasons and stuff like that, but you say it's completely different. So I would like to understand that. And I'm sure
that's what I mean. Like, you know, the comedic effects, that's where it's, you know, because they're doing it for drama, they're doing it for stage.
Okay, so
But not all the time. But not all the time. Some of them.
It's just for the show.
Entertainment.
For entertainment, exactly.
but sometimes,
and then sometimes the cross-dressers, they are exactly. No, and they dress
so
like
it means
that.
you can be a drag queen and not be a cross-dresser.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Okay.
So the thing is, because like you find some guys that live normally as guys, but when it comes to the show, they do drag. So,
Would you say
so drag
someone
is
like
different.
Derele is a drag queen?
No, he's not a drag queen.
Would you say someone like Bobrisky is a drag queen?
He's not a drag queen. He's a cross-dresser.
Okay.
Yes, because with the drag queen, it comes, no, let me explain. So with the drag queen, you know, you have makeup, you have theater, you have drama, and you do it all on stage. But you can't be like a drag queen and then.
But what if he's doing it all for
drag queens
social
do not
media?
just do it all
That
on
is
stage.
all for entertainment too.
Some of them go to the club. Some of them go to the club like that. They do their normal 9 to 5 jobs and they dress normally. And when they're going to the club,
that one is a cross-dresser. That's what he's saying.
No,
that's not what I'm
telling
saying.
you, they refer to them as drag queen.
Yeah, that one is for entertainment.
I mean, I've not been to their blood, but don't worry, I understand these things.
Okay, I do not understand this thing, and I'm not going to pretend to understand
so I think
so can we move
we need to do more research on this drag queen, drag king.
You're the one that needs to do more research. I definitely know what a drag queen is.
I don't think I'm interested.
I know what a drag queen is. A drag queen, as I said, is generally for entertainment. They may live their lives cross-dressing, and they may live their lives not cross-dressing. So someone like you can live like this during the day.
Someone like me can live like this all day.
No, listen now.
Someone
and then
like
at night,
me can live like this
and then at
all
night,
day, all night, every stew.
I agree.
Everywhere stew.
you guys are just cracking me big time, big up.
Like this all day, no change.
That's what I'm saying.
Not someone like refer to somebody. Not someone like me.
And then at night, you know, it's a drag queen. Anyway, time for another break. When we come back, it'll be time for a whole new headline on popular singer Asha. Keep it here. It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got 2 of the hottest topics currently trending on social media.
If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I probably haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about like 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Well, Welcome back. It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're swiftly moving on to our next story. Singer Asha, who says, "I'm afraid of fetish people." So should a music artist be afraid of things like this? Because this actually had to do with her shoes.
Music artist is a woman being. Because I don't understand
the difference between.
Like, I mean, I get where she's coming from. She said, though she was saying it jokingly, but the entertainment circle has made a news out of it, you know. Yeah. But I mean, if she's really scared about fetish people, then who isn't anyway? I'm asking, who isn't? You're not?
Fetish
people.
I think it depends on when the society that you live in, you know, and then if society demands or you hear stories, you know, about things that happen, about stories that happen, you know, in the society, then basically.
I don't understand. Are you scared of fetish people?
I am explaining that, but you don't want me to learn.
Explain your own fear. Don't explain people's own. Are you scared?
So like I was saying, that, you know, when you live in a society that, you know, a lot of fetish things happen, and then you live in that society over time, there's, at the end of the day, you can't help but, you know, tend to have that kind of fears every once in a while.
So is it yes or no?
So, Elsie, if, for example, let's use you as an example, if you came to work and then you're supposed to sit on your seat on, you know, tea time, and then all of a sudden you find a feather, you know, tied around, you know, what would you do?
Dust it off and sit down.
Wow. If you have no fetish fears whatsoever, I find that hard to believe.
Like in Plus TV Africa, you came in. I would not just know it's a prank.
A prank?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Let me tell you a story. This guy worked for a company, and then he said that because of his role and that everybody was interested in him being, you know, in that particular role, he said anytime he came to work that he would find something fetish, either on his seat or on his desk or on the floor in his office, and that people were really, really after his job. And then as a result, he couldn't deal with it. He had to leave. So are you telling me that you're going to consider that a prank?
When you
now you think.
A living God.
Now you think.
Wait.
Oh, seriously, you're going to preach now.
I'm not saying there is no fetish. I'm not saying there is no mommy water power and all those other power.
Oops,
I'm not going to disregard them, right? But I'm going to talk about it from my own angle where you said something on this seat. It means that the person had to pass through the security, pass through our security doors.
We're talking about staff.
Hold on. Even the staff, that's what I'm saying. Pass through the whole camera crew, the whole production crew, and then snuck into this place to put it on my seat, man. That person has to be an invincible being.
No, what I'm saying is that staff are the people that were doing this.
I'm
so it's
saying
not an
whoever,
outside...
okay, I'm just talking about my own.
Okay.
Whoever is going to do this has to collaborate with almost half of our production crew to pull this off.
Not necessarily. What about timing? Supposing they've left it way earlier, before even the production crew turn up.
Yes.
If you find it fed down, yes.
I will remove it and sit down.
Exactly.
Dust it off.
Me say I am fed down.
Because when you serve a living God, things like this do not. I'm not going, like Elsie said, we are not going to disregard other forces, other.
These things exist.
Yes, they do. But I think why are you going outside the story? You don't.
This is part of the story.
You don't first tell us the story of one guy for your office.
I allowed you now. I allowed you. Because Elsie was... Ife, please come back to the story because you are now going back.
Goodness.
So, like I was saying, in Asha's case, like Elsie said, it's being blown overboard. But you can totally understand why she would be scared of something like that because even though she grew up in Nigeria, she's used to the Western culture. But if you look at other artists...
And this is supposed to be her first performance in Nigeria this year.
When they perform on stage, they throw their T-shirt, they throw their shoes, they throw their chains, they throw their face caps, they throw whatever. Do you understand? So I think if people really want to harm you, they would harm you anyway.
But do you know their own part of throwing things away and throwing to the crowd can also be interpreted as fetish? In this our country, you can say,
do you understand? Like your destiny and the collect. Do you understand? So if we all think this way, I think Asha just needs some more reorientation and know that because these are the type of stories that get outside the country and make us look bad. And as a role model, why J Hus is going to jail because it's a role model. Do you understand? So I'm sorry I'm going back to stories, but as a role model, you cannot say this type of things in interviews because you are
Not even
representing-
interviews.
Yeah.
While she was on stage.
Yeah, because you're representing the country in a bad light. Now, international people are going to be like, oh, Nigerians are
So when you
fetish.
come in
Yo,
here,
when
you have to
come in
hold
here-
on to your belongings.
Exactly.
What
That's
about
what we
she's
need to
endorsing
change.
it?
What do you mean they know that already? Like,
Because, like,
that
in
is what
one-
happens
and that's
everywhere.
what she-
Are
because,
you saying
like-
that is what Nigeria represents for being fetish?
Listen.
Are you
Or
saying
our
I am
people?
fetish?
What I'm
Are you
saying is
saying
that
we are
regarding-
fetish?
But you're not even listening for my answer.
Okay.
You're just going over and over and on and on. But my point is, regardless of what Asha does, at the end of the day, what you guys project to the outside world in terms of Nollywood,
What
9
you
times
guys? You're one of us.
Listen. 9 times out of 10, Nollywood talks about fetishism.
Which of the Nollywood?
You've never watched a
Which
film.
one?
Not in
You've never
recent
watched a
times,
film.
talking
Which
about it.
one
watched
is
the
the
film.
question?
There's
Which of the
change.
Nollywood?
This is
Seriously.
not the Peter Duce days. Like, Nollywood has all
He
changed.
should just go straight Yoruba Nollywood, Abi.
Not necessarily. Even the English. What are you talking about? Nollywood is Nollywood.
Well, at
Even
least
outside
I
Nollywood,
don't
even
watch
outside
them
Kannywood,
anymore.
they do that.
On a scale
That's
of
not the
1 to
point. At the end of the
100,
day,
it's
that's
like
what it's
30 now.
as much as we do that, that's what we know that for. It's just like
But we watch
Bollywood.
movies like
Bollywood,
Harry
they know them
Potter,
for
but
love.
we don't look
for
at British
love.
people
And then at the end
as
of the day,
wizards and witches all
all
the
right,
time.
guys,
Do we?
it's a wrap. Join
You
us
see?
this afternoon for the latest entertainment news. Until then, a big thank you to my co-anchors, Elsie and Ife, the entire production team, and our stylist, Getsi of Kudi's Empire. I'm Tokunbo Tayo saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you later this afternoon.